It is evident that when the apocalypse broke out, this place was in utter chaos, even a hellish nightmare. Last night, the infrared thermal radar only marked the mutated creatures near Wang Cheng's location. At this moment, looking around, the entire street and the market are filled with these monsters, lurking like ghosts. If any sustained commotion were to occur at this intersection, it would be akin to poking a hornet's nest, causing the entire street of mutated creatures to swarm. Wang Cheng was startled. He did not expect there to be so many monsters nearby. Fortunately, they weren't too aggressive last night. These mutated beings are far more terrifying than the zombies in a certain video game. A single one can tear apart a vehicle with its bare hands, stop a speeding car, and its severed head can bite off a person's head in one go. Their strength and destructive power surpass that of the zombies in the game. The hunting environment here is clearly far inferior to his dormitory building, so Wang Cheng has become cautious. Luckily, he has received enhancements in strength and speed, making him a somewhat stronger genetic human. Even without a gun, he can handle ordinary mutated creatures. However, being alone makes it difficult for Wang Cheng. He needs to observe the positions of the mutated creatures, carefully lure them, avoid them, and then complete the kill. If he hadn't accumulated valuable experience in combating mutated creatures in his dormitory, he would probably be in grave danger now. Wang Cheng is waiting for Su Xinghai to master his abilities. At that time, they can work together, greatly improving their efficiency in taking down mutated creatures. Of course, the key factor is that while Su Xinghai's water arrows may not match the power of a handgun, they are silent and stealthy. Compared to Wang Cheng, the people from the student council and other survivors in the underground parking lot are not as bold. They also come out during the day, but unlike Wang Cheng, they are searching for food. The people in the security room have been hiding here for more than a day, and the food in the vehicles in the underground parking lot has been mostly scavenged and consumed. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to stay in the security room for so long. Now, with no food found in the relatively safe underground parking lot, advancing to raid the supermarket within the shopping mall is impossible. They can only venture out to scavenge from abandoned vehicles on the street and search through packages left behind by other survivors for food. Most of them are just ordinary people, not a match for the mutated creatures, and can only proceed cautiously in search of food. In their eyes, Wang Cheng is undoubtedly a strange person. So powerful, yet instead of looking for food, he roams around hunting mutated creatures. A group of college students searching for food from a distance saw Wang Cheng hunting mutated creatures and whispered among themselves. This guy, ignoring food, is running around killing mutated creatures. Can he really eliminate them all? Isn't that a waste of effort? What do you know? This might be the world of the big shots. Maybe he wants to eradicate all the mutated creatures to restore order to the world. They thought Wang Cheng was wasting his time, but by the end of the day, despite being exhausted, he felt quite excited. This was because he had finally replenished the energy points he had consumed while upgrading his battleship, reaching a total of 30 energy points. Hunting mutated creatures here was a bit more troublesome, but with their large numbers and good visibility, Wang Cheng, once he got the hang of it, managed to take down quite a few. With these energy points, he boarded his level 1 battleship parked outside, took a deep breath, and pulled out the toy rifle he had prepared earlier. Upgrading the battleship required 300 energy points, and with only 30 on hand, he was far from enough. Wang Cheng's goal for today was to upgrade this rifle and mount it onto his battleship. This way, he could compensate for the current lack of firepower on the battleship and wouldn't have to stick his head out of the window to shoot. As the sun set and night approached, the shadows of the swaying mutated creatures stretched long on the ground, resembling terrifying ghostly figures. Wang Cheng successfully spent 20 energy points to upgrade the rifle. The toy rifle transformed into a heavy, real, semi-automatic rifle. Holding it in his hands brought a different sense of solemnity and seriousness. This was a weapon for killing. Automatic rifles are also the most common firearms in warfare. Handguns are for show, but when it comes to action, it has to be rifles. Wang Cheng weighed the rifle in his hands, then opened the weapon module located at the bottom of the chassis and placed the rifle inside. Immediately, a line of small text appeared on the central screen of the Wuling battleship. Weapon module activated. Scanning weapon, scan successful. Current type, 762mm caliber rifle. Maximum magazine capacity, 30 rounds. Binding in progress. Binding successful, rifle locked. Wang Cheng's gaze flickered as he saw the left weapon module unit on the side of the cockpit of his Wuling battleship light up, indicating that the weapon was being loaded. By clicking a button, a hand-crank fire control joystick extended from below the left side of the steering wheel. While using the steering wheel, Wang Cheng could easily manipulate this little device with a finger, allowing the successfully loaded rifle to adjust its angle within a 60-degree range. By moving the joystick, he could rotate the muzzle and press the button to fire. Moreover, there was even a small display showing the current ammunition count, 0. Once the rifle was loaded and bound as the battleship's weapon module, it was completely locked in place, unable to be replaced or removed, which was why Wang Cheng hadn't bound his handgun or shotgun earlier. The rifle was undoubtedly the most suitable weapon for the battleship. Wang Chung just needed to load ammunition through the specially opened loading port, with a maximum capacity of 100 rounds. It can barely be considered a naval machine gun. Its firepower is incomparable to that of a real warship, and even pales in comparison to an ordinary infantry fighting vehicle. Yet Wang Chung is still very excited. He knows that this is just the beginning. His warship will continue to evolve and ultimately become a high-tech battleship that no modern equipment can rival. Wang Chung spent 5 energy points to exchange for 50 rounds of 7.62mm rifle ammunition, all of which are now loaded. The ammunition count shows that Wang Chung has 50 rounds. At this moment, his vehicle is not only resilient but also conceals weapons on the left side, ready to extend out and unleash a barrage at any moment. Chapter 35. The target of the second-level warship. The sound of gunfire is getting closer. As night falls, Wang Chung drives the warship back to the underground garage. Upon seeing Su Xinghai and Zhang Chao, he shares his observations. Recently, the gunfire in the city has become less dense and more dispersed, echoing from all directions, as if the military and police have spread out across the urban area. Among them, one group is clearly approaching their location today. Su Xinghai and Zhang Chao exchange glances, both understanding what this means. The military is coming? Old Wang, what are your plans? Wang Chung does not hide his intentions and replies directly. I hope to cooperate with the military, but it has to be based on the specific situation. In this world, who knows what is going on? In Wang Cheng's view, the best way to maximize the use of his system and accumulate energy points in the shortest time is to collaborate with the military. No matter how the apocalypse changes, the military and government will always be the ones wielding the greatest force. Therefore, cooperating with them could allow them to help him gather mutated organisms and other high-energy beings for him to eliminate, providing energy points for the system. Such hunting efficiency would undoubtedly far exceed what Wang Chung could achieve on his own. But this is only an ideal scenario. How to actually cooperate with the military? Will they cooperate with him? How to explain the system? These are all realistic and cold-hearted questions. Wang Chung suspects that the possibility of being controlled by them is quite high, or that the military might not even pay attention to him. All of this requires careful deliberation and cautious probing. This news quickly spread underground, and everyone was very excited. The approaching gunfire at this time signifies that safety is nearing. Naturally, everyone is thrilled. After being chased and hiding from monsters for so long, everyone longs for the protection of regular troops. Unfortunately, that night, the gunfire maintained a distance that was neither too close nor too far, never truly approaching the vicinity of the large market. Wang Chung is not anxious. If he encounters the military, he will, but if not, he won't risk seeking them out. However, other survivors are eagerly hoping for military protection. Yet they lack the means to find the military and even dare not call for help loudly in the area, so they can only stay put. Meanwhile, Yi Chi comes up with a plan, having someone outside create a signal by generating thick smoke, attempting to send out a distress signal. Unfortunately, the urban area of Haiqing is now filled with smoke and ruins. Their little smoke is inconspicuous and almost attracted the attack of mutated beings, all of which went to their doom. Since then, Yi Qijing has become more cautious, squatting in an underground garage and no longer acting recklessly. Although they have Chunlan on their side, most of them are just ordinary students. They can manage to deal with mutated beetles while huddled in their cars. But if they were to engage directly with mutated beings, they would struggle to form any real combat power. In stark contrast to them are the 3 from Wangqing. After Su Xinghai recovered and became familiar with his abilities, the trio began to act in unison again. Zhang Chao was responsible for attracting the mutated beings. Su Xinghai shot water arrows at their legs, and Wang Chung delivered the final blow. Initially, they were a bit clumsy, but gradually they improved. With Zhang Chao acting as a living bait, the attraction to the mutated beings was extremely strong. Previously, Wang Chung had to create noise to draw the mutated beings, which took a lot of time and effort. Now, with Zhang Chao as bait, the mutated beings quickly went into a frenzy. At this moment, Su Xinghai would strike, shooting a water arrow with precision. Although his water arrows were not as powerful as a handgun, they could still create a bloody hole in the thigh of a mutated being. The splash effect was significant. When hitting flesh, it would instantly tear a gory wound. The movement of the mutated being would be severely restricted, allowing Wang Chung to rush in for the final strike, using a titanium alloy dagger to decapitate it. Wang Chung referred to this as a no-bullet wasted tactic. As their ammunition dwindled, Wang Chung became increasingly frugal. Then they would shift to the next target. With the addition of the 2, Wang Cheng's speed in hunting mutated beings greatly increased. In just one day, they managed to take down nearly 30 mutated beings. It's worth noting that on his first day out, Wang Chung had wasted a whole day and only killed a little over 10. So the 30 energy points were a result of the accumulation from the previous night. After 3 consecutive days of hunting, Wang Cheng's energy points surged back to 100.